Before I get started, I do want to pray for the families in Texas as well as the families in Mississippi that's going through the snowstorm. I know it's kind of difficult for you all. So I'm just praying that you could get through that. And I know this is all new, especially for people in Texas. They're not used to the snow. But I'm praying for y'all. Their lights off. Some of them have no water. Um, they basically snowed in and can't get nowhere. Some of them don't have food. So I'm just praying for y'all, or we're praying for you all. So I just wanted to get that out before I start Wisdom Wednesday. And I also wanted to say that this week has been amazing. I had a few days off to rest and regroup, rethink, refocus, and just kind of love on myself for a while or whatever. We were out for 5 days. We had a 5-day vacation from work, and I'm grateful for that. So tonight's topic is Unapologetically Naked, which is also the title of my book. I've been working on that book for quite some time now. So hopefully sometime this year we'll get it on shelves. We'll get that taken care of. And that's basically it. So last week we talked about bridging the gap between, young ladies and mature women. And we also talked about the power of sisterhood. So I just wanted to ask you guys tonight, did you take these last 7 days and find a young girl to pour into, maybe a word of wisdom, words of encouragement, maybe a few dollars to go get some feminine products, or even maybe just a hug to say, I love you. Those simple gestures goes a long way. And I know that because, like I said, I deal with young women daily. So that's basically it for as far as the bridging the gap go. And also, bridging the gap is just not, between young ladies and mature women. It's also between young men, and mature guys. A lot of times, I know I leave out, or it seems like I leave out the young guys, but that's not the case because I myself have 2 boys. And just grateful that they have, a male figure in their life that can kind of steer them in the right direction. Because again, I'm a woman, so I can't teach a boy how to be a man, So guys, if you see someone, or if you see a younger boy that you can lead in the right direction, feel free to do that. Don't just let them fall by the wayside. Feel free to grab them by the hand and give them some guidance, some words of wisdom, words of encouragement, and just be their go-to person. And I said on tonight that I try to be positive. I try to, speak positivity. I try to just live in a positive world. And I know the world is chaotic right now, so it's kind of hard to do, but I push and I strive for that. And not only in my life, but even in my social media, I look at people, or look at people pages, or I try to be friends to people that can actually pour into me when I'm empty and when I'm down. I like to read words of encouragement, and I like to read like quotes or scriptures or whatever to uplift me. So a few people that I wanted to acknowledge was Mark Haylock. I love reading his posts. Another one is Charles Gardner. He's a barber in Jackson. Another one is Napoleon Polo. He is funny, but he is like a pillar for his community, and I love it. Another one is Brad Davis. He's running for city councilman in Jackson for Ward 6, and I read his posts, and they're so inspiring and so encouraging. who else? Shay Wallace, she does What's Coming Out of Your Mouth with her brother Pete. So I watched them as well. And that's just to name a few. I also work with people on a daily basis. It's like a go-to people for the kids at our school. You know, Tiki, Allison, Mr. Franks, Miss Barbara, just to name a few people. So sometimes when my vessel is empty, I like to look to those people and read their posts or just talk to them, and I just, you know, they pour into me. And also, of course, everybody knows Joey. Even when I'm going through some things, you know, he always gives me words of wisdom, words of encouragement, and he pushed me to keep it up and keep doing it and just keep going. So just a big shout out to y'all guys. Hey, Gabby. So if nothing else, be that pillar, be that go-to person, be that person that always speaks life, manifest over people's life, you know, over their jobs. Just, you know, just in general, just always try to be positive in every aspect of life and try to approach every situation with grace, love, and gratitude. And I know it's hard, but just try to do that. And my biggest thing with me and our company, we always try to just look for ways to basically take care of people, you know, regardless of how it is, whether it's your physical well-being, whether it's your mental well-being, or whether it's your spiritual well-being. We always try to look for ways to take care of people. And I know me, I have a soft spot in my heart for girls that has been abused, that has been traumatized, that has been hurt. I just have a soft spot in my heart for them. So those are the girls that for some reason they tend to reach out to me and they tend to gravitate toward me. And I feel like because they do those things, because just like I can see something in them, they see something in me. And I can tell you that because I was once that girl. And part of me said I wasn't going to tell my story, but I feel like in order for people to get to understand me and to know me better, I spoke like bits and pieces of my life on a couple of my lives like a few weeks ago. But I just want to tell my story, and hopefully that it doesn't discourage somebody. Hopefully encourage you to be like a better version of you. So I can say it started when I was like 9, say 8 or 9. My biological daddy didn't have custody of me, or custody of me and my 2 brothers. But when he went to court for visitation rights, my mama was basically forced to let us go stay with him every other weekend, some weeks out the summer, some vacations and stuff like that. So in the process of staying with him, in the beginning, he would take us shopping, he would take us to eat, he would take us to the movies, and he would give us money, and he would just do things that, you know, the absent parent would typically do to basically win their children over. And I didn't know that in the beginning. And the reason the reason I felt so good about it in the beginning, because staying with my mama, we didn't get all that because my mom had 6 kids. So it was hard to kind of give attention to one person at a time when you got, you know, 4 or 5 girls and you got 2 boys. It's like it's only one of me, so I can't split myself, or I can't divide my time between 6 kids or 7 kids at one time. It's just too much. So when we got to my daddy's house, I was the only girl, so I got a lot of attention because I was the only girl. And it got to a point where my brothers were like, I can't even say they were teenagers. I can't even remember how old they were in the beginning. But if you remember, if you're from Jackson, then you know the Metro Center was like the place to be. Like, you can literally drop your kids off and they were good. Give them a few dollars. They had a game room. They had a food court. They had stores. And like, that's what he would do in the beginning. He would drop us off at the mall. And we would kind of just hang out and just, you know, be kids. And then my brother them started like getting into girls. They was like, man, such and such is fine, or this girl is fine. I'm trying to holler at this girl, that girl, or whatever. Just being the typical boys. And I was the sister, so I was like, oh, Brittany, you cock blocking. You know, you can't walk with us, sit in the food court. So I would find myself sitting in the food court for like 5 and 6 hours sometimes, maybe more than that. I don't know. And it began to get lonely. I didn't want to do it no more. So when my dad would come get us, I would like express to him that I didn't want to hang out with the boys no more because they always forced me to sit in the food court, you know, while they go chase girls. And so it got to a point where my dad would drop off the boys and I got time to spend with him, and he would take me to get my nails polished and, you know, go shopping, go get my favorite snacks. And I just felt like, hey, I'm daddy's girl. I'm living my best life. And I was so like naive to what was really going on. And he was basically setting me up to trust him so he can take my innocence. And in the beginning, like I said, I didn't realize that. So he would bring me back home. He would rub on my vagina. I love you. He would kiss me in my mouth. This is what daddies do to their daughter when they love them. And I was ignorant to what was going on. I didn't know. I was young. And it went from like rubbing on my vagina and here go you $200, here go you $300, you know, don't tell nothing, keep this between us. And I don't fault my mom. Like a lot of people feel like, you know, well, where was your mom in the situation? I don't fault my mom because reason being, my mama was never the type of mother to be transparent with her kids. If it was something going on, she kept it to herself. If she was struggling, you know, if there was some things going on, she was never transparent with us. I can honestly say I've never heard my mama say in my childhood years, I love you, I'm here for you. You know, my arms are open, my heart is open, talk to me. If there's something going on, talk to me about it. Or, you know, if somebody touched you inappropriately, I'm here, talk to me. You know, guys are not supposed to touch on girls. If, you know, just things like I never heard my mama say that. And I'm not going to say that she knew or she didn't know how to raise kids. I don't know. I don't know about her upbringing because it really was never shared with us. So I just know now with me having a girl and even boys, I'm so blunt with my daughter and I'm so open with my boys. I don't say, you know, your cupcake. If somebody touch your cupcake, tell me. If somebody touch, you know, your little worm. I always say, Kylie, if somebody touch your vagina inappropriately, nobody's supposed to touch your vagina but you when you take a bath, or me if I'm helping you get a bath or whatever. Same thing with my boys. Nobody's supposed to touch you down there unless it's me or we at the doctor and they're checking you out. But my mama never shared that with us. She never gave us that opportunity to come to her and just be open with her and let her know what was going on. If anything, she kind of shied away from us. She kind of, you know, you better do this, I'm the mama, you gonna do what I say, and that's it. Ain't no talk back. It was no open lines of communication. So you felt like anything that you went through, you had to kind of like swallow it and just go through it. So in the process of this, it was like a every other weekend thing. And I'm like, you know, damn, this is uncomfortable. Is this really, you know, how a daddy show affection towards his daughter? And I began to talk to my friends because, I mean, I'm in, second, third grade, and I had a best friend, Nikki, and I was like, girl, you know, my daddy did this and my daddy did that. And she said, well, my daddy never do that to me. She said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to ask my daddy, you know, why he don't touch me between my legs and why he don't give me $200 and $300. And when she went home and talked to her daddy about it, he was like, Daddy's so inappropriate and you need to tell your friend to tell, you know, her teacher or whatever. So she came back to the school and we talked about it for a while. But I was scared. I was nervous to tell my mama because my mama never opened up that gate for me to walk in and share things like that with her. But I was also terrified of my daddy because he was saying, you know, he told me this is what daddy and daughters do, but if you tell somebody, you know, basically you're going to get hurt, your family gonna get hurt, and so forth and so on. So I was just like lost in the middle. I was just scared. I was confused. I just didn't know which way to go. And then my grades started dropping in school, and typically I was a straight A student. A B here and there, but typically I was a straight A student. So when my grades began to fail, not only did my teacher know what was going on or felt like something was going on, but my counselor too. She was like, what is going on? Like, you went from straight A's to straight F's. How in the world did you get an F in PE? And it's because my focus of school was just completely off. And I was trying to not only deal with what my mama had going on in her household, because it was straight poverty, but trying to figure out in my daddy's household, like, if I stay with my mama, it's poverty. If I stay with my dad, it's abuse. So I was kind of like in the midst. I'm like, what? I don't know which way to turn or whatever. But with saying all that, I ended up telling my counselor what was going on. And of course, because I was a minor, we have to discuss this with your parents. And when I remember when they first told my mama about it, in the beginning, she kind of fussed, because back to that black people, and I'm going to say black people because I'm not a white woman, so I don't know. The black people mentality, whatever goes on in our house, stay in our house. And instead of you going to tell the white people, you should have came and told me. And I had to just tell her, like, you never opened that gate. You never gave me you was never transparent enough for me to just run to you and say, hey, this is what's going on. So I had no choice but to tell these white people what was going on. Because they looked at my grades. It's not that I just willingly told them. They looked at my grades and they say, hey, this is not her. This is not her behavior. This is not her grade. This is not her normal grade. So I know something is going on. And when somebody's constantly questioning you as a child, irregardless to what, you're told, you have no choice but to let it out, because they're gonna keep asking you until you say something. And I let it all out. But in saying all that, I got in trouble. Like I said, I got fussed at home. And it was crazy. And even with getting fussed at, not only did my mama know, but even the people in the community, they knew that my daddy had been molesting me. And then when they get mad or get in their feelings, that's why you got, molested by your daddy or whatever. And in the beginning, as a child, that hurt, because I'm like, or not even that's why you got molested by your daddy. Some people go as far as to say, that's why you and your daddy was having sex. That's why you had, $300 or $400 in your pocket. It's like, that's not the case. It's not the case. This is like hush money. But anyways, as time went on, I stayed some of everywhere in the course of this whole situation. And not only did it mess with my physical state, it messed with my mind. So a lot of times, I don't even know if I was hallucinating or whatever, but I remember my grandma saying, that girl needs to go see a two-headed doctor. She crazy. Something's going on with her. I don't know what it is. But I can remember that as a child, she would tell my mom, you need to go take her to see a shrink. She got some mental problems, something going on with her. And she was saying this to be funny, but she was serious. She was saying it in a joking way, but she was serious about the whole situation. So I said all that to say, because I was abused by somebody that was supposed to protect me and supposed to love me and supposed to nurture me and tell me the do's and don'ts when it comes to relationships, or this is how a man is supposed to love a woman, and this is how a woman is supposed to receive that love, and this is when a man is full of bullshit, and this is when he really love you and he really care about you. I never got that. So not only was my mom not open and honest and transparent and welcoming, but my dad was like, use me as his sex slave. And it's like, that was in that moment, that was my norm. Like that, I felt like even in relationships, if I don't sleep with him, then that means I don't love him. If I'm open and honest, then I'm telling too much, I'm too vulnerable, and I risk being hurt. So a lot of times, not that I would lie, but I would just hold in, you know, what I really wanted to say, because I felt like if I said it, then I'm doing too much, because that was my life. And even in my relationships, my friendships in school, they like, I think a lot of my friends I kind of like scared away, because this girl got too much shit going on. She bipolar. She's got too much going on, and I can't deal with her as a friend. And then even in relationships, you know, I felt like I was bipolar. One moment I'm laughing and I'm cracking jokes. The next moment I'm depressed. The next moment I'm dealing with anxiety. The next moment I'm stressed out. And it's just like I couldn't get myself together. Like, I was basically, I feel like the reason I was like that, because I was living in a complete lie. Like, I pretended well, like I was so happy and I had it all together. You know, if you knew me, even in my teenage years, you see me, I always kept my hair done. I kept my nails done. I always kept on nice clothes. I faked it. Like, I had, in that moment, I had my shit together, and I didn't really have my shit together. So even in that, I end up getting married to my ex-husband and having kids. And I felt like if I could just get married, if I could just have kids, I can block out, you know, my past. I can just live on and not have to relive in my past, because I'll be too busy being a wife. I'll be too busy, you know, being a mother to kids, to where I don't have to relive in that past. I was basically running, you know, I was running from my past. Not only did I get married and stuff, I moved completely away from my whole family. When I had Kylie, I had no help. I had no mama, no daddy, no sisters, no brothers, no auntie, uncles, cousins. I mean, I moved completely away from everybody because I was running from my past. And so even in a relationship with him, I allowed like things that a typical woman would not allow in her relationship. I allowed the cheating. I allowed the verbal abuse. And in some instances, you know, in the beginning I said, well, it ain't physical. He ain't really hitting me. But if they push you or shove you, that's still a form of abuse. And I allowed that because I said, my relationship is good because it's not what I used to get. You know, I didn't get, he would talk to me, and I got from him, I love you. Some days I got, you're beautiful. Although other days I got, you fat, you know, you ugly, nobody's gonna want you, you got kids now, you out of shape. Some days I got that, but some days I got the I love you, and I allowed that I love you to carry me through. And I was like, well, you know, this is my life now, and it feels good because it's not my old life. And as time went on, the saying is true. When somebody show you who they are in the beginning, believe them, because that's who they really are. So a lot of times he would say things in the beginning, and I was like, okay, he's stressed out, he depressed, he mad. There's something going on with him today. He had a bad day at work. And I always made excuses for his actions, when in reality, this is just who he is. And I had to be mindful that a person just don't change. Like, who they are is who they are. So even and with that being said, when we decided that, or when I decided that enough was enough, because not only were you affecting me as your wife, but my kids was traumatized. It were days when we would come home and Kylie would scream, I don't want to be here. And if you know Kylie, she's very verbal. Like, she ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. However she feel, you gonna know about it. And the boys, I would find them crying. I don't want to go home because all y'all gonna do is argue, or all he gonna do is holler, or all he gonna do is throw things. And so it had got to a place where I got to get the hell about this marriage, not just for me, but for my kids. And even when things went south and we decided to go our separate ways, or I decided to get out of it, I was lost. Y'all listen. I was so fucking lost. I didn't know how to be a mother. I didn't know the first step to parenthood. Because not only did my childhood traumatize me, now I just got out of an abusive marriage. And it's like, how the hell am I supposed to raise these kids to be, the college to be the lady that I never was, and how I'm supposed to teach these boys how to be men? I'm a fucking woman. I don't know how to be no man. So I winged it. I mean, this the killing part, y'all. When he left, and I hate to put people on blast, but I'm at a point now I live in my fucking truth. So it is what it is. When this man left, he hated me. I hated him. But when he left, you took all the furniture out the house. You took dishes. You did petty shit. But in that moment, it no longer mattered because I just wanted peace. I wanted a peace of mind. I just wanted to know what it felt like to get some peace. I didn't give a damn what it is. You could have took the tires off my car. I just wanted some peace. So his first night staying in his place, sleeping in my fucking bed that I paid for, I slept on the floor in my house for, I know, 3 weeks at the least. But it was okay because I had a peace of mind. I didn't have to argue. I wasn't fussing with nobody. I wasn't laying beside nobody and just looking and saying, why the fuck am I here? Or it's bad when you lay beside somebody who's your husband or your wife, and that sex urge just like don't even cross your mind. Like, I don't even care to have sex with you, nigga. Don't touch me. Don't rub on me. Hell, don't even fucking look at me. Just go on about your business. And that's where it had got. Like, I hated him so much to where I just wanted you gone. I literally wanted you gone. So that first night he stayed in his own place, and I actually had my place to myself, sleeping on the floor, robbing Peter to pay Paul. I had a peace of mind. I didn't know how I was going to pay my light bill. I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent, how I was going to pay my car note. But I did know that I had a peace of mind. And I was like, I don't know how to clean up this mess, but I got to clean it up. I got to give my kids the life that I never had. I have to give them things that I was never given. I have to show them ways that I was never shown. And how in the hell am I supposed to do this? Believe it or not, y'all, a lot of times I was reading books, I was Googling stuff, I was YouTubing stuff, like how to be a parent. I feel like I failed. I feel like I put my kids in the same situation that I was in as a child, because my mom and my stepdaddy, they was at each other's throat all the time. Fuck you, fuck you. I know you was with that nigga in the street. And we saw that, like, thank you, Nisha. We saw that our entire life. They fussing, they fighting, they fussing, they fighting. And my mama was like, in our eyes as kids, my mama came, she appeared to be like this pushover, because he was like dominating like the conversation, calling her name, cursing her out, and all these things. And she would just sit there and be like, it ain't true. It ain't true. It ain't true. So in my relationship, I felt like that was okay. When my ex-husband would holler and scream and bitch you ain't shit and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it ain't true. Or I know you fucked Tom down the street. It ain't, because that's what I saw. So moving forward, I had literally, even in having a quote unquote peace of mind, I was still going through some things, because if you've never struggled financially, then you wouldn't understand. I was going through so much, because I'm like, damn, this man left, my rent 2 months behind, my car is up for repossession, the light man coming knocking on the door saying, hey, you 2 months behind, the water people is about to turn my water off. And to top it all off, I ain't got no damn food in the refrigerator. So I'm supposed to feed these kids. So I went through all that, and I never had that relationship with my family where I felt like, let me call my mama and tell my mama that I need some money to pay my light bill. Or forget that. Let me reach out to my family and tell them, hey, I need y'all to cash up me a few dollars to get the kids something to eat. So because I was never close to none of them for real, I said, you know, I'm just going to pray about this thing. If I can scrape up a few dollars to feed my kids, I don't have to eat. As long as my kids are full and as long as they got a roof over their head and stuff and they're warm and they're safe, I can go without. And I did that for a while. And even in meeting Joey, the first couple of weeks, like, he knew like bits and pieces of what was going on, but he didn't know like the whole story, what I was dealing with mentally. Like, I was so fucked up in the head. Like, I'm like, it's got to be more to life than this. And even on social media, you see me smiling, taking cute pictures, acting like I'm living my best life. Y'all, this shit was a front. It was fake. It was phony. But I was like, I can't let my kids see me break. Like, I am strong. Like, I refuse to let my kids see me bent all out of shape or whatever. So anyways, I was so glad that me and Joey had literally crossed paths. Now, in the beginning, I can't say, oh, I was so in love with Joey and I couldn't phantom life without him and all that, because I'll be lying. He was a man, and he was going to be there for my boys. He was going to teach my daughter how to love, and that's all I wanted. I didn't care about the love shit for me. I didn't care about the relationship for me. It was more so for my kids. I want them to have the life that I didn't have. I want them to get the love that I was never shown. I just want them to have just be overall better people and have a nice upbringing and not have to experience some of the things that I had to experience as a child. And part of me say, I hate that I experienced that, because it made me kind of messed up in the head. Like, it messed with me, and it bothered me for a long time. So I was like, I hate that my daddy molested me. You know, I hate that my mama was never a true outlet. I hate that I didn't have a safe haven, because it just made me build barriers. And I felt like anybody I came in contact with, they was trying to attack me in some shape, form, or fashion. So let me just protect me by all costs. So even with me and Joey, I had like this hard shell, like I can't fall in love with this man because I just don't know where his mind is. Like, I don't know what his intentions are. Is his intentions pure? Are they good? You know, and I'm like, I don't know. But anyways, we end up moving in together. And in the beginning, it was kind of rocky. And I can't say it was Joey. I'm going to say it was me. You know what they say, hurt people. So in the beginning of our relationship, it was hurt him, Brittany, before he hurt you. Because if he hurt you, you're going to have to go through what your ex-husband just put you through. So don't allow him to hurt you first. You hurt him first. And that was my goal in the beginning. Like, I got to hurt this nigga before he hurt me. I ain't going through that no more. My kids ain't finna see me crying. They ain't finna see me going without. They ain't finna see me struggle. I'm not going through that shit no more. But my outlook on it was so, like, different than what his intentions were. His intentions were so pure. He meant well. And it's like, let me just give up and let me love you. And I'm like, man, I've never met somebody besides my granddaddy, like as far as a male figure go. I've never met somebody who wanted to love me for me, not for my sex, not for my body, not for the way I look, not for what I have to offer financially. Just, none of that. Just, I want to love this girl. I want to show this girl that, there are still good men in the world. I want to show her that I can love you. I can take those broken pieces and I can put them back together. And when Joey met me, I was like a broken wine glass. If you take a glass and you throw it on the floor, them pieces go a million different ways. And that's how I felt like I was. I was like this broken wine glass. And this man was on his knees. And he was trying to find every little piece and got glue and just was piecing back together a wine glass that he had no like no help in breaking. Like he didn't break this wine glass, but although I didn't break this wine glass, let me put it back together. Let me show her that although this wine glass is broken and is shattered, I can put it back together and I can make it be as beautiful as it was in the beginning before she decided to throw this glass on the floor. And even now in my relationship with him, I am still missing a few pieces of that broken wine glass. And he didn't say, this glass is missing a few pieces, so I'm not going to drink out of it. He didn't say, this glass is missing a few pieces. I'm emotional, y'all. This glass is missing a few pieces, so I can't wash it. He didn't say, this glass is missing a few pieces, so I'm going to throw it away. He actually took that broken wine glass, and every day, even if sometimes that wine glass get bumped and a piece of it may chip, this man every night continues to put this wine glass together piece by piece. I don't care if it's me waking up and saying, I don't feel pretty today. It's, baby, you're beautiful. My hair isn't right. I love your hair. I don't like the way my clothes fit. You're gorgeous. I'm having a bad day, and I'm a lot of times I lash out. And I say hurtful stuff. I hate you. I can't stand you. I hate the day that I met you. And not like the typical man say, well, bitch, I hate you too. He never say that. His words are, baby, can I just have your hand? And when he grabbed my hand, he just say, let's just pray. Can I pray with you? Can we pray? Can we pray this thing out? And honestly, he grabbed my hand and he prayed. And after prayer, I feel 10 times better. Because although you are going through, and sometimes it seems like it's you against the world, it does. God is still like in the blessing business. God is still real. He's still phenomenal. He's still answering prayers. And when I look at Joey now, I'm reminded of the time when I was 15 years old. My mama and my stepdaddy was fighting, like physically fighting. And I can remember this plain as day. My stepdaddy threw a beer bottle at my mama and busted on her leg, and her leg was bleeding. And we got so mad as kids, we wanted to jump on him. And in that moment, my mama was like, no. Leave it alone, stay in a child's place. I can remember going in my room or going in the room, because I didn't live there at the moment. I can remember going in the room, sitting in the closet, and I said, Lord, I don't ever want a husband like that. And I began to, because I remember growing up, my granddaddy would say, Brittany, when you talk to God, you have to be specific in whatever you ask for. You can't just ask God for a husband because he'll just throw you a man. You can't just ask God for a house because he'll give you a shack. You can't just ask God for a car because he'll give you a lemon. You have to be specific in whatever you ask for. And I remember that. I was 8, 9 years old when he said that. And when I began to pray, I said, Lord, I want somebody that's going to love me for me. I want somebody that's going to pray with me. I want somebody who's not going to abuse me. I want somebody who's going to take up for me when things get rough. I want a man that's going to look over his household. I don't want nobody who's going to cheat on me with every woman that he come in contact with. I just want somebody that's mine. I want somebody that you made for just for me. I was 15 years old when I prayed that prayer. Every time that going through life, I was 15 when I prayed that, but when I was going through life, and I got in a relationship, there were some things that I dealt with in a relationship, and I said, Lord, this is not what I prayed for. And I'm here to tell you, sometimes things are man-made. And a lot of those relationships that I was in, or all of those relationships that I was in, they were man-made relationships because it was some things that I specifically asked for that I didn't get. I can remember one of my relationships, he would tell me, you know, I was beautiful, but in the same breath, you were sleeping with the next door neighbor. Another guy, you know, I love you, but in the same breath, it's bitch, fuck you. And I'm like, I never, ever prayed, God, this ain't what I prayed for. And even in my last marriage, I said, okay, I got it together. This is it. You know, I asked you for kids. I got kids. I asked you for a nice house. I got a nice house. I asked you for this beautiful car. I got this beautiful car. I asked you for a nice job. I got a nice job. I asked you for a degree. I got that degree. And with saying all that, sometimes we're so blinded by material things that we don't think about the spiritual things. I remember praying, and I wanted a man that was going to pray for me. I had everything that I had asked for material-wise, but spiritually I was lost. My husband was lost. My husband didn't know God. My husband didn't pray. He didn't go to church. It was just, you know, and if he did go to church, it's because I forced it. I found his clothes on Saturday, and I forced him to go to church with me. It wasn't like I'm willingly doing this because this is what I'm supposed to do. But when I met Joey, y'all, listen, I know y'all hear me. Y'all probably say I'm so tired of ass talking about Joey. I'm sick of Joey. But let me tell you something. God will give you your Boaz, like literally. Not only do I stay in a nice home, it's in a beautiful neighborhood. Not only do I drive a car, I drive a nice car. Not only do I work a job, I have peace at my job. I love my job. I go to work smiling every single day because I feel like I'm walking in my calling. And let me tell you something, money is not everything. I know a lot of people say, well, I make $20 an hour, I make $50. Who gives a damn when you come home every day and you're stressed out? You crying, you depressed, your boss has gotten on your nerve, and sometimes you just don't know which way to turn. Money is not everything. I have a job where I make decent money. Not only do I make decent money, I have good insurance, I have good benefits, and I have a peace of mind when I go to work. When I go to work every day, even people at my job, they like, man, Brittany come to work, she laughing all the time, she's bubbly, it's always good morning. You know, it's always how y'all doing, or hey divas, or hey beautiful. And people would tell you that work with me, I know the cafeteria ladies, I know the janitors, I know all the teachers, I know all the counselors, and I damn near know all the students because I love my job and I love what I do. And that makes all the difference in the world when you can go to work every day and you know that your life has purpose and has value, and you're literally walking in your purpose every single day, every single minute, every single moment. And that just makes all the difference in the world. And my goal every day is to just reach out to one person. If I can just touch one person or make one person smile a day, I've done my job. And I love that. So I have the job that I love. I love my job. My kids are in the best school district in Alabama, hands down. They have like the best school district. But most of all, I have a praying husband. When shit seem like it's hitting the fan, when things seem ugly, when it feels like the weight of the world is on my shoulder, when I feel like at any given moment I want to give up and I want to quit. Even in my business, a lot of people look at Brown Fit Beautiful and they say, oh, it's a small company and Brittany don't go through that. I go through things every day. There are some days when I say, you know what, Joey, I don't want to be a business owner no more. And in the beginning, it was like, I'm not making the money that I want to make. You know, I'm not bringing in the revenue that I want to bring in. People that call themselves my friends and my woes or whatever, they don't even order from me. people don't even my live videos. Nobody share my live videos, so why am I going live? And just all those things. The enemy has his way of getting in your mind and just making you feel like give up because it's not gonna blossom. But through Joey's prayer, like we pray every night and every morning before we go about our day. And even me, when I'm on my way to work, a lot of times we talk all the way to work. But prior to me calling him, I pray. I'm praying and I'm talking to God and give me a word, give me a message, you know, touch the people in my job. Just I'm constantly praying. I'm manifesting over my business, over my life, over my kids' life, over my family, even my enemies. Like I'm constantly manifesting great things over everybody's life. And the thing about life, you get out what you put in. And so in my business, y'all may say, oh, she just sells sea moss gel. I put a lot of work in my sea moss gel. I pray over that stuff every time I make it. I make it with love. Every single jar is made with love. I try to please each and every customer. And it's a lot of y'all, and I'm forever grateful. I try to please each and every customer to the best of my ability. And I know it's crazy that I have so many customers, and there's only one customer that I've done everything that I could to please her, and I couldn't please her. But it's okay. My business is slowly growing, and it's phenomenal. And it ain't even the money no more. Like some days, honestly, I don't even check that account. Joey probably can tell you how much money in the account, because a lot of times I forget that there's money even in the account from the business. I just get a joy out of seeing people heal naturally. I get a joy out of people saying, you know, Brittany, because of your sea moss gel, I don't have blood pressure problems no more, or I got my thyroid under control, or even my vagina. I don't deal with vaginal dryness no more. Shay, you right, it's always that one. But I don't have vaginal dryness no more. What else? Y'all, even mental health. Like, I didn't realize how much sea moss helps mentally. Like, literally. If you have never taken sea moss, if you've never been on it, I'm not even saying order from me, but get you some sea moss gel. That stuff is like heaven in a jar. I mean, for those of you who want to lose weight, it suppresses your appetite. For those of you who's dealing with high blood pressure, it's good for your blood pressure, your thyroid. It's good for inflammation. It's an immune booster. So, you know, COVID is still real. It still exists. It boosts that immune system. And I'm going to just tell you, I work with the general public every day, and I work with students. And if you know high school students, they are not clean at all. They kissing, they loving on each other, they hugging them. But I can honestly say I've been taking that sea moss. I don't have a cough. I don't have COVID. I don't have a sneeze. I don't have mucus. I don't have none of that. So with the sea moss and the grace of God, I'm completely healthy. So if you have not got your sea moss gel, even if you want to order from me, it's brownfitbeautiful.com. If you don't want to order from me, that's okay. I love you anyway. But do get on it, do try it. And y'all, I know tonight has been like a emotional roller coaster, but I pray that I've helped somebody tonight. I've prayed that I've poured some wisdom into somebody tonight. Ladies, mature ladies, if you don't do nothing else these next 7 days, grab a young girl, love on. I don't even want to do the exercise tonight. Take the exercise that I typically do with y'all, how you hug on yourself. Take that young girl, love on that young girl, be that outlet for that young girl. Tell her she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. Tell her she can, because you believe in her. You may be the only person that she sees that gives her those words of encouragement that day. And it means it makes a world of difference, because I was once that young girl. And so when somebody showed me my true beauty, it made a world of difference. It's because of Joey. You beautiful. Even when I wake up and I got crust in my eyes, my hair all over my head, my breath don't smell the best, I got on his big shirt. You're beautiful, baby. You smart. You intelligent. You are somebody. You're a beautiful wife. You're a good wife. You're a good mother. Some days I question my parenting. Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Do I love my kids the way a mother's supposed to love their kids? Do I discipline my kids the way a mother is supposed to discipline her kids? I question my parenting skills, and in my ear, you're great. You're a good mother. You're a good wife. You're a hard worker. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. Those words seem so minute, but they make a world of difference. So even in young girls, and I mean young girls, Kylie is 9, but I mean even in girls 4 and 5, get them little girls, because you may be their only safe haven. Get those little girls. If you work at a daycare center, if you know, we see different children or different people every day, and we have like close contact with these people. Get that little girl. Love on that little girl. I love you. You beautiful. I love your shirt. I love your... Kylie love to hear that. I don't know about no other little girl, but when Joey say, oh, Kylie, you beautiful, it makes her whole day. So, and guys, if you still... And I'm not saying just girls, women... Even the boys, they need that love, because so many times boys are taught. So Joey gonna get on here soon, Shay. I've been pushing him. I literally been pushing him, but he gonna get on here. He gonna have no choice but to get on here. But ladies, even the guys, you know, you tell your guys or your young boys ain't supposed to cry. Man up, toughen up. You a punk. You don't supposed to cry, toughen up, whatever. Baby, that is wrong. We are human. We have emotions. Let him express his emotions. Let him cry. Let him be vulnerable. Let him break down. Let him do that. Allow him to be human. Allow it. I try my best, because that's all I heard growing up. They would tell my brothers, y'all punks. You crying, you a punk, blah, blah, blah. And then you wonder when he become an older guy, when he become a grown man, he don't know how to fucking love. He don't know how to accept love. He don't know how to give love. He just don't know what love is. He don't know how to be vulnerable to his wife. He don't know how to be transparent with his wife. He don't know how to be open with his wife. Because all this time you've been telling him to man up, don't cry. You weak, you a punk. No. That's strength. When you can cry and be vulnerable and be ugly, that's strength. That is not a sign of weakness. So allow those little boys to be themselves. Allow them to be human. Allow it. They're not punks because they cry. They're showing true emotions. And that's what you want. And a man or a little boy that's allowed to show true emotions as a little boy, he becomes a phenomenal man. Like he really do. So when his little girl is crying, he understands. When his wife is moody but silent, I know her. She's hungry. I know her. She's on her cycle. Let me bring her some chocolate like Joey do. Let me get her some pads. Because I understand. Although she hasn't opened up to me, I understand her. So they just become phenomenal men. So break that generational curse. Don't stop telling these boys that. Like, stop telling them that they punks, because they not punks. Just allow them to be human. And I'm not saying, you know, pat him on the back every time he cry over the smallest stuff. Allow them to be human, and then push them, encourage them to not cry over the same stuff over and over again, but do something about it. So that's your assignment this week. Get a child. I'm not gonna say man. I'm not gonna say boy. I'm not gonna say girl. Just get a child, or a young adult, a teenager, or even an older person. Sometimes we deal with mental illness as well. Tell that person. Give them some words of encouragement. Give them words of wisdom. Love on them. Tell them that they can, even when society say that they can't. Tell them that they can. And I love you guys. I thank you guys so much for tuning in to my live tonight. I thank you for all the reciprocated love. I thank y'all for the support. And believe it or not, y'all were, because I get a lot of inbox messages about how well I do on my live and how I've inspired somebody, how I've encouraged somebody. That keeps me motivated. It keeps me moving. It keeps me pushing. And I even get messages. I even give messages how somebody has encouraged me, how somebody has inspired me, and how somebody keeps me going. And y'all literally keep me going. And I just told Joey and Ebony, because Ebony is my bestie. I just told her, I said, listen, I have nothing to talk about tonight, and I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna do my live next Wednesday. She was like, nope, keep going. And even Joey, I said, baby, I just don't know what to talk about. Well, Brittany, just go. Just do it. And I'm so grateful that I got an opportunity to come on here tonight, and I got an opportunity to be unapologetically naked. I gave y'all the naked truth. I was transparent. I'm vulnerable. I'm an open book, because I want to be that safe haven. I want to be that outlet. I want to be that go-to person when everything else just chaotic, or when your back is against the wall, or when your home life just fucked up. Like, I want to be that go-to person. I want you to be able to be real. I want you to be able to be yourself. You know, I talked about this last time. A lot of people say, oh, good vibes only. No, real vibes. If you need somebody to cry with, if you need somebody to love on you, if you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody just to shout on the phone with, if you need somebody just to listen. Just sometimes people don't even want words of encouragement. Sometimes people don't even want you to talk. They don't want you to help them. I just need a listening ear that's going to be a listening ear and not a diarrhea mouth. Not, I tell them one thing and they go out and blabber it out to the world. So some people just need that. So I just thank you guys tonight. I hope that I help somebody. I hope that I encourage somebody. I hope that I've said enough to where you will take this video and you'll like it. You will share it with a friend. You will share it with a family member, or just go out and just tell people about, you know, some of the things you learned tonight. And also, ladies, I've had so many people asking me, Brittany, when you gonna put the Yanni Pearls on your website? I want some Yanni Pearls. I want to see what it's gonna do to my vajayjay. They are on the website. Better get them before they leave, because they will go quick. So they are on the website. If you don't know what a Yanni Pearl is, you can either Google it and get some insight about it. But it's for fibroids. It's for people that had endometriosis, PCOS, infertility, vaginal dryness, yeast infections, and stuff of that nature. There's 3 pearls in this pack. You only need 3 pearls a month for the period. So after your cycle, after your monthly cycle go off, some people say dip the Yanni Pearl in coconut oil, but I don't say dip it in coconut oil because I know some people have like allergic reaction to coconut oil. So I just tell people to dip it in warm water. And that's just the making moisture so it can slide easily into your vagina. So 3 days after your monthly go off, you insert 1 pearl. You leave it in for 24 hours. You take it out. Remember, with this pearl, you can pee, you can boo-boo, you can take a shower, you can take a bath, you can do everything with this pearl inside of you. Because everything that's in my pearls is all natural herbs. So water, none of that is going to do anything to it. But anyways, you insert the pearl with clean hands inside the vagina. You let it sit for 24 hours. You pull the pearl out. You wear a panty liner for 24 hours. So after you wear that panty liner for 24 hours, you insert the second pearl. You wear the second pearl for 24 hours. You pull it out after 24 hours and you put a panty liner in. And you wear the panty liner for 24 hours. And then the third pearl, you insert it. You take that out and that's it. So everything that's in your body or in your vaginal walls, it's gonna come out, and it's not the best sight. It don't look the best. Some people like to go in and just pull the rest of it out. I don't advise that. I like for it to come out naturally, because a lot of times if you go in and try to pull it out, you'll scratch up your vaginal walls and it'll be irritated. So I like for it to just let it flow, let it come out naturally. And not even just for fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, infertility, but some people just want that vajayjay to feel good and clean, and that's just another way to detox ourselves. And it's all natural. Everything in it is natural, so it won't harm you. And that's about it. I'll post some more stuff about the Yoni pearls sometime this week when I get an opportunity. So if nothing else, like my video, share my video. You guys have an amazing rest of the week, the few days that we have left, and enjoy you guys' night. I love you guys. Thank y'all for the continued support. Bye.